Okie dokie. All right, guys. So while we're waiting for the rest of us to get our stuff together, you're here, man. All right, number 2. All right, number 2 is saying that you have a drummer and guitarist in a band. All right, so we got drummers and guitarists in a band. We're going to do this one problem, and then we'll get to our first break. This is when, here in about 5-10 minutes, we'll get to our first cell phone break. Hey, good morning. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, guys. So this is the part that we're going to have to write down specifically. One of the hardest things that we're having trouble with is being able to take a giant word problem and just shrink it down into one equation. So that's what we're going to practice right now. So we're going to take a guitarist. And this guitarist wrote 8 fewer than twice the number of songs the drummer wrote. I know, guys, it's a lot. And then we'll take a break. And then they wrote a total of 2 songs. So you write 2 equations. So it doesn't say exactly that, but it's basically that. Here's equation 1. And then here's equation 2. Sorry, I don't know why I put 2 here. I'm really sorry. That's not the number. The number that they wrote was 46, not 2. That was my bad. It's supposed to be 46. 46. Okay, and that's your second equation. They wrote 46 songs. All right, let's tackle equation 1 first, and then we'll go into equation 2. All right, Ms. Edamaris, what letter could we use to symbolize a guitarist? Cool. And what about drummer? Great. We'll use GD. So we have G for guitarist and D for drummer, and the guitarist wrote. So we're going to put guitarist wrote. And then we know that they wrote 8 fewer So we're going to write 8 fewer in our equation. Here's our 8 fewer. Say twice the number. Twice the number is pretty easy because it's just 2 times that number. So there's equation 1. Hold on. Twice the number. All right, now equation number 2, it says they write a total of 46 songs. So total meaning addition. And we know that all together, out of all the songs they wrote, that it was 46. 46 was your number. So between the two of them, both G and D, they had to write 46 songs. And that'll finish it up for us. All right. Do 46 here, and here's that 46. All right, questions so far? All right, while we're waiting for you to copy down your notes, take a look at the answer choices. So you can kind of see how the problem is. So we have drummer, guitar. They wrote 8 keywords. They wrote twice the drummer. So twice the drummer. They wrote a total of 46 songs. Alright, so these are okay, so over here, you can see that we have all 4 equation options here. And the way that I did it quickly is I looked at the very last thing. Almost always, they're going to give you a total equation. And the total equation knows that there is 46. So if I look at my answer options, this one is a total, right? It says D plus G is 44. So look at the next one. It's not right. It's not D plus G. So this one. This one is also not D plus G. So it can't do that. So now I have to choose between F and J. And in my problem it says that I have 8 So I was looking, and I knew that I was looking for a minus of 8, right? This is going to be however much they wrote, and then 8 less. And so the 8 was -1.
saw 8 fewer, I went to negative and not to positive. So when I saw 8 fewer, I went to negative. And I did not go positive. And so that's why I'm Yes, sir. How you doing? Yes.
The fan bus.
Yeah. Yeah. What does it look like?
Basically, y'all can about 500.
Okay.
Yeah. And watch it right back.
Really?
Probably takes it 7.
Yeah.
5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So that's going to be on that one. We had to go towards G plus D is going to be 46 because they wrote 46 songs. And then it says 8 fewer. So I went to negative 8. So think about that. Out of this entire problem, this really giant problem, I needed 4 words. I needed 8 fewer, and I needed total 46. That's it. Everything else is just decoration in here. So here's 8 fewer. Sí, son mismo aquí. No 45, menos 8. Porque dice aquí 8 fewer, 8 fewer. Menos 8. Porque esta palabra aquí dice fewer, es negativo. ¿Ok? Y mi respuesta aquí, 8 está positivo. No está correcto. 8 es negativo. Porque dice 8 fewer. Dice menos, como menos. Okay. You're doing right, bud. All right, guys. I'm going to put your 3 minutes on the clock. If you'd like to get onto your phones, do your texting, take a snap, whatever needs to happen. Now's your time for that. Yeah, bud. Yeah. Come on up. All right, period 2. Let's see here. Oh, Alan just left. Dadgummit. Jennifer's not here. Yep. As soon as Alan comes back, switch over here. Yep. All right, guys, about 3 more minutes left on your break. 4. Jennifer, I don't have yours. Jennifer, Darwin, Majori, John, Darwin. Jennifer's here. That would be helpful. Yeah. I'm just sad that you're gonna miss out on our lesson, man. All right, so when we go out to graph this, we're gonna have to obviously make our table first. And let's get some really easy numbers here. Let's maybe try 0, 1, 2, maybe even 3. And I'm feeling kind of lazy today, like I don't really want to do a whole lot of math. So what I'm going to do is take my calculator out and make my calculator give me all of the table, so I don't have to do it. Yeah. So let's come out here to our y equals button. Here, top left corner, go into that one and clear out anything that may be in there. Just push clear. We're waiting on 3 students to catch up with this. We need to bring the calculator on y equals. And we're going to have negative 4x here. Here's negative 4. Your x button is right here next to the green one. Walter. There you go. All right. If this is all good for you, now you're going to push the blue second button. Segundo está aquí. Pone segundo. Push the second button, and then table is right here. Table está a la derecha. Oh, man. There we go. All right. So now copy the table. Did you not clear this out? You know to go to list 2, because that's the second equation you put in. So you see in the y equals thing where there's something in y1, but y2 is negative 4, and then you need to put x. It's the one right here next to the green button. Guys, make sure you're staying up in the calculator stuff. It's killing our class when I have to stop everything and speak privately. Stay up in what we're doing so we don't have to go back. Now copy down exactly what you see here in the table. So if you see 0, 0, that's what you put in your table. It's going to be 0, 0. Just copy that directly down. If you see 1, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. All right, so this means that your domain looks like this, and your range looks like this. And we're now getting to graph it. This is our final answer. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the x-axis, or excuse me, on the y-axis. We also need to go down because I see a lot of negative values on my range. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. And then we'll go out on our domain. We're going to go out to 3, 4. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do it on the other side too. Negative 4, negative 1, negative, oh, that's positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4. All right, now we just need to fill in our little dots here. We got 0, 0. So go to 0, 0. The next coordinate point you get to is 1, negative 4. So come to where x is 1 and y is negative 4, and that happens right here. We have 2 and negative 8, 3 and negative 12. And since I'm almost off of my graph, what I'm going to do is go over here to negative 1. And I'm going to find that value too. It says negative 1 in my table. If x is negative 1, it says that y is going to be positive 4. So I'm going to negative 1 and then come up to positive 4. All right. Now, once your line is all good, you got like 2 or 3 coordinate points on there. Now's the time to drop your calculator, make a straight line all the way through the points that you got, and then put your arrow markings on the end. All right, so Mr. Eric, I am looking for numbers that are less than or equal to 0. Numbers that are less than or equal to 0. So what are some examples that I could shade in that are less than 0? Negative 4 is totally less than 0. That's right. So I'm going to shade negative 4. What is another number that's less than 0? Negative 2. All those numbers, right? So that's telling you where to shade. All right, so now get your shading on there, porque y menor que o igual. Un número menor que cero, porque es mi intercept. Un número menor que cero está negativo 1, negativo 2, negativo 3. So, color, 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 color. Aquí es negativo 2, negativo 3, negativo 4. All right, so here's what the answers did look like before we got started. Yay! Why is it not B? It's shaded on the wrong part. Why else? Look at the line. The line is dashed. Remember, dashed lines happen here because they are open circles. We have a dashed line, so it creates that space there, right? And that's why on less than or equal to, we have a solid line because we filled that dot in. It is now a solid line. There are no gaps. It's all like this. So we have to choose this solid line here. Porque menor que o igual. Esta línea aquí igual que se pone una línea completa. Okay, so nothing like that, no dashes or anything. Okay? You okay with that? No? Okay. All right, guys. We'll do number 4 real quick. Looks like transformations are coming to us now. So let's take a look at that. Oh, you're doing so good. All right, number 4, transformations. So it's going to say that f of x equals x squared and was transformed. Okay, mira esta palabra aquí más importante. Transformed. Es acción. So they're going to give you a new graph. New graph is g of x equals x minus 7.5 squared. So we have some options here. We could go up, down, left, or right. We can get flatter, steeper. We can do reflections. So let's review all the different directions a character on a video game could go. Montre, you said up and down is one of them. What's the other one? Left and right, good. We said steeper. We said flatter. And then we said reflection. All right, so let's get some examples here, and then we'll do our final answer. All right, here's an example. We'll start with just some basic equations, okay? Y equals x cubed, y equals x squared, y equals the absolute value of x, y equals the square root of x, y equals 2x, and then we'll end with y equals x. All right, so this one is going to say action. Action, acción. All right, so if we want to go up, Miss Alyssa, do you think that would be a positive or a negative? Yeah, very good. That's exactly right. So let's go up by saying y equals x plus 2. This plus 2 is the up. Good. So if we're going to go up with a positive, down should be what? Negative, good. So y equals x cubed minus 10. That's a great example of going down. All right, now here's the one that's different. Big, bright, flashing lights should be going off in your head. These are the ones that are different. If we are going left or right, we are talking about parentheses in here. We need to be inside of our grouping. We got to be inside of our grouping here. So if we want to go left, we're going to say y equals x plus 3, and then finish your equation squared. This plus 3 is you going left. And you see how I had to use my parentheses to make that happen. So if left is a positive, Montre, what do you think right will be?
Negative.
A negative. Very good. That's exactly right. So we're going to do y equals the absolute value of x minus 7. Good, Montre. That's exactly right. This minus 7 here is you going to the right. What's the big difference between up, down, and left and right, Eric? What's the big difference between these two, up and down, and these two, left and right? Okay. So one of the things that you could take away from this is one thing that we already listed as our key point, right? Left and right has parentheses, and the number goes inside of the parentheses. So let's write that into our notes so you don't forget it. Remember that you're going to see this material in geometry. You'll see the same material in Algebra 2, in Pre-Cal, and Cal. Transformations are a part of life. If you need to move your body from point A to point B, you are transforming your body. So you do this every day, all the time. Steeper and flatter are the same things, right? Like if I wanted to raise my hand to ask a question, watch what's about to happen. I take a super flat arm, and I make it super steep. In the real world, I have changed the steepness of the line of my arm, and that is how we say, hey, I have a question, or please stop. So to make that work for you, you're going to start with y equals square root of x, and if you want to make it steeper, y equals 10 square root of x. 10 is steeper. Good number. So yeah, we'll do steeper. Is this 10 right here? And you can now notice, right, that we've switched. We're now talking about not multiplication. Right, we switched operations. Up here, up, down, left, and right. We're talking about addition and subtraction. But now, all of a sudden, we're talking about like steepness. That's where multiplication division comes into play. All right, so this brighter and steeper and flatter. Whoops, my bad. Steeper and flatter here. We're going to talk about multiply. We're going to talk about divide. That's when you start switching operations on us. Is that a little bit easier? All right. So on this one, guys, Mr. Maris, if to make something steeper, we have to go far away from 0. How do I make something flatter? Very close to 0, right? Because if I get to the ground floor like this, what kind of steepness does this have? It's a straight line. It's straight across. Does it have any steepness? Is it going to be hard for you to climb that? It has a steepness of 0, right? This slope is 0. So all I need to do is get that number to fall in between 1 and 0, like a fraction, like 1/2 or 1/3. So y equals 2x could become y equals 1/2 x. That means that I'm getting flatter. I'm going back down to 0. So yeah, your goal is that your slope is going to equal 0. That's flattest as possible. There's not any flatter that you could possibly get than this. All right, so this last one here, it says a reflection, y equals x. To get something to reflect, what symbol do you need to use? It's the negative symbol, yeah? So y equals negative x, and there's your reflection. All right, now that we have our review, guys, look right back up to your problem. Right here. Use the chart that you copied to identify the transformation in g of x. So how was g of x transformed? Right? How did we go from f of x to g of x? What happened? All right, Mr. Allen, what do you think happened here? How did we go from here to here? Which one of these looks like this? Con F. Y luego. So minus 7.5. Right, that's the big change. So how did we go from here, x squared, to x minus 7.5 squared? ¿Sí? ¿Y cómo se dice este cambio? Up, down, left, right, steeper, flatter, inflection. Okay. Left, aquí dice más. ¿Tenemos uno más en mi grupo? No, tenemos uno menos. ¿Qué es menos? Down. ¿Está bien? Pero ¿dónde está mi grupo? ¿Aquí? Sí, es el mismo. No. Menos. Son mismo. Muy bien. A la derecha. ¿Sí o no? Sí, muy bien. All right, so we can say that this went right 7.5 units. All right, get your answers down, guys. We went right 7.5 units.
Alright, so you're just going to use the big four, up, down, left, right. And you're going to have to choose. If it's inside the grouping, you know that it has to be with the X. It's inside the thing, so it has to be horizontal. It's exactly right. It's opposite. Whenever you're working inside of the parentheses, it's opposite. And the reason why is because you're across the side. Remember how we use opposites in all that's why. So that's the whole point. That's how all of the things fit together. So if you're inside the grouping, it's opposite. The negative is right, positive is left. Okay, so we have our four options here. We've got shift to the right, shift on the left, shift down. So if you're just going to do the big four, and all you gotta remember is that inside the X grouping, then it has to be like always opposite. I just want you to do the type of question that you're looking at. So we've got a loop here. Because the number is in the grouping, it has to be horizontal. Okay? So that's our first big deal. When the number is inside of the group, it is always side to side. So that means so if numbers are inside, and we always know that it's inside the grouping. So, if I go to solve something, right, if it says italics, and that's why we put minuses here. If you have any minus 7.5, we are talking about right. You have to use the opposite, okay? So the answer has to be right 7.5 units and not left. That's going to be a big trip up for a lot of students. Which direction to move? If you're going side to side, it's always up. Up, down, that's plus 2.
Okay. You guys are doing awesome. You're brilliant. We're going to keep moving on into number 5 and 6. All right. Come on, Trey. Okay. Now can you? Nope. Now you can. Can you help read this one out? Guys, listen up to this one for just a second. I know, go ahead. Because you're going to read like 3 words and I'm going to stop. Can you read this one? The first one? What does it say? Okay, I'm already bored. He literally read 1 word of this text and I'm already bored. And this test is designed to do that to you guys. If you were to read this whole thing out, it says a set of weights includes a 4-pound barbell and 6 pairs of weight plates. Each pair of weight plates is 20 pounds. If X pairs of blah, 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 guess what, guys? Absolutely none of the words in that problem matter at all. It's just designed to tire your brain out. So, what I want you to start thinking about is looking for the big question. The big question here says, what is the range of the function? And a function is an equation with our equal sign. So all we need to do is find the range of this function. All of these other words in here, all of them are useless to you. I want to let that sink in, that the test writers are going to do a lot of this to you, to where it's designed to try to wear you down. So if we're using that test strategy of looking for the question and then finding the information in the problem that helps you. All right, so number 5, says, what is the range? What is the range of the function? And your function was f of x equals 20x plus 4. So we'll write our x table like always. Here's x and y, or domain and range, as we like to call them. And the only thing we don't have is actual data here. So Alyssa, what's one thing I can do to put data in here? What can I do if I don't have it? What can I do? Like where would I go to on the STAAR test? Because they're going to ask me at least half the questions, right, are going to have missing data. So at least 50% of what we're doing will apply. What can I do here to fill this in? I do. We make it up, like we always do. We just make some points up, right? We always do that. So we're going to ask the function for 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to ask it that. We don't know it, but it's going to tell it, you know. All right, so we're going to put our equation here. Is f of x is 20x plus 4. So f of 0 is 20 times 0 plus 4. F of 1 is 20 times 1 plus 4. What's up? And then f of 2 will be 20 times 2 plus 4. And so on and so on. And I'm already kind of like over this problem. I'm already over it. So what I want to do is actually find an even faster route to solve all of this. Because the first one's easy for me. 20 times 0 is just 0. And then 0 plus 4 is just 4. That one's easy. But it's about to start getting a little bit harder to solve these out. So here's my shortcut. I need to go to y equals on my calculator. All right, so pause where you're at, wherever you're at, because you know that we're not going to go and do all of this actually. We're going to make the calculator do it, just like all of your competition is. So we're going to go to y equals here. All right, so go on your calculator. And then clear all of that other stuff out. Press clear here. All right, so from here, we're going to type in our equation. It's 20x plus 4. So we're going to put in 20x plus 4. Alyssa, are you having trouble? Are you able to catch up? And once you get here, don't even worry about graphing it. Just push the second button, this blue one right here, and your table. And there it all is. Here's all of your answers. So we're going to fill in our table now with what the calculator told us because it's going to be a lot faster. We have 4, we have 24, we have 44, we have 64, we have 84. All we have to do is fill in the table from the calculator. Questions, Montry? Did that work out? Or you were just amazed? You were like, I can't believe it's just giving me all the answers.
We don't need to do any of that. ¿Por qué? Porque, mira aquí, aquí tenemos 4, 24, 44, so, por ejemplo, no sé. ¿Qué pasa aquí? 4, 0. Sí, aquí es igual con range, y igual range. So, mira que range, 4, 24, 44, 64. Y list es 4, 24, 44. ¿Cuál es aquí? A, B, C, D. No. 9. Now, would you help me join? She does not have an equation in, and she needs to know that, and how to do it. Okay, we can help her through that, and we'll have to show it. She needs an equation. Alright, so the deal here is you take the domain and you read off from 0 each your range is 4 to 4. So what answer? Yeah. If 24 is not in your list, then it is not the correct range. That's the exact wrong answer. Yeah. Hello! Alright, so we have your domain list already. It was the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And your calculator just did out the range. So this is the 4, 24, and 11. That's what you saw on the calculator. So what we got to do is come up with the answer and whatever the calculator says. And Eric asked a good question. He was like, well, all they did was get 24. So I said, it's a great question, but it's not the same fact. You're missing one. It's not true. So this is Alright, there's a list. The big key points here is make sure you take the full list with you. Your range. So you look at your domain 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you look at your range 4, 24, 44, 64. Now you guys switch back with the and last one here, Phyllis. So en tu calculadora dice 4, 24, 44, 64, etc., etc. Yeah, those numbers are pretty big, but yeah. So if you go to where x is 0 in your domain, there we go. Now x is 0 in my domain. I have 4, 24, 44, and 64. And so what I'm looking for is that list here. Whatever list matches the one that you see. So if your calculator is spitting out, answer B, that's all you got to do is circle answer B. Cool. So that's a lot faster than the way we were doing it earlier, right? Okay. All right, folks. We're going to do one more, and then it's time for our second break. And then at that time, we'll do like cell phones and all that other stuff, okay? So we have a couple more minutes to finish out number 6, and then we'll transition over. Number 6 is talking about area. Now, we just looked on your formula sheet here, and there is no equation for area. You're going to have to know it. So if they give you the area of a rectangle, I wish. Area of a rectangle.
They say the area of the rectangle is 54. 54x to the 9th, y to the 8th. And then they say the length is 6x cubed, y to the 4th. So today, again, remember, we're learning exponents because we haven't learned them yet this year. The question, the big question they asked you, what is the width? What's the width? All right, so let's get started first with we need to know the area is length times width. We need to actually know our formula. Length times width. Awesome. Alan. Yeah, Mauricio. Okay, good chord. All right. So let's color code real quick and then we'll substitute. Thank God for your patience. All right. So we have area. And we know that our area is this number, or this thing. And we know that this A right here is the same area that we've been talking about. So substitute 54 into the A. We know that part. We also know our length is 6x cubed y to the 4th. And that's this one right here. So now we're gonna get the substitute in. All right, so A is 54x to the 9th. So 54x elevado 9, y elevado 8. Igual 6x elevado 3, y elevado 4. Por W. Esta pregunta dice, ¿qué es width? Or the question says, hey, solve for width here. So that means this W can't move. It's got to stay put. Rocio, what is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So that's what we're going to have to use. We're going to have to divide. So if I can't touch the W, what's the only thing I can't touch here, Montre? The 6 and all that other stuff, right? So I'm going to take all that other stuff off. I'm going to divide 6x cubed y to the 4th on both sides. 6x cubed y to the 4th. All right. Mr. Darwin. ¿Qué es eso? 6 sobre 6. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Sí? Ese es claro. 6 sobre 6. 1, muy bien. Y luego, x sobre x. Está 1, muy bien. Y sobre y. Está 1, porque y está 1 y y está 1. 1 sobre 1 está 1. 2 sobre 2 está 2. Está 1. Perdón. 3 sobre 3 está 1. So y sobre y está 1. ¿Ok? X sobre x está 1. All right. So the only thing I'm left with on this side, thankfully, is an equal sign. This is a 1, and I just have W. That's my answer, right? It's asking me what is width. So I'm like, this is my final answer because it's asking me what my width is. Now all I have to do is divide these one at a time. Same thing as I did over here. Yeah, what's 54 divided by 6? 9. All right, so we'll do that one first. We got 9. Good. All right, now pause, pause, pause. Something special is about to happen because we're talking about exponents. We're going to subtract because we're dividing. We are dividing here. So what is 9 minus 3? 9 menos 3. Muy bien. X elevado a 6. X to the power of 6 because 9 minus 3 is 6. And we're talking about exponents. 9 menos 3 está 6. Darwin, por favor, copia, copia, copia. Ok, y luego, Miss Majority. Tenemos aquí 8 y 4. Son elevados. So, ¿qué es 8 menos 4? 4. Muy bien. So, y elevado a 4. Okay. All right, so Alan, how did I get x to the 6th here? How did I get this? 6. ¿A dónde va? ¿De dónde eres? Yeah. Sí, aquí se están aquí. ¿Qué es este número? 9 menos igual. Muy bien. ¿Y 9? ¿Por qué? Porque son elevados. 9 y 3 son exponents. Son elevados, es menos. Pero 54 y 6 son números. So, solamente no voy de menos 3 y 8 menos 4. Porque 9 y 8 y 3 y 4. ¿Está bien? All right, guys. We okay with that? Subtracting exponents? Okay. We subtract the exponents, but the regular numbers, we have to divide like always. Okay. Now, what if they were trying to get us to multiply these two numbers together? Would we subtract them? Yeah, we'd have to add them. Good. Thank you. I just want to make sure we're refreshed. We got that together. The exponent rules are a little bit different. All right, one more, and then it's our next break. One more, and then we'll get to our break. Here's number 7. Number 7, the Mustang Auditorium. The one that we're about to build, the new one. It's being designed according to Mrs. Rios's equation. Her equation for our new auditorium is f of x equals 2x squared minus 6x. Where x represents the total rows of seats. How many rows are in her new auditorium? If it has 416 seats. Done. All right, so we have our brand new auditorium being built here in the next few months. During that time, you guys all know that if you're listening to a concert and it's in a room like this, you can't hear anything because all the sound waves are bouncing off all the walls at the same time. So auditoriums are specially built. You almost always see them with shifted ceilings that go down at a slope like that. And this is so that as the sound waves come out, they don't bounce back down. They stay up there with the audience, so that you get what's called acoustic resonance. You want much better sound quality by designing the building for sound, for things that are going to produce sound. So to be able to do that, we use equations like this. One of the things that you'll see most auditoriums, they a lot of times will sort of like horseshoe maybe, a little bit out like that, sort of around the stage. And that's why it's a curved line. So we are using x squared. Curved line. All right. Most important thing here that I want you to get out of the problem is not how to solve it. It's how to pick out the most important pieces. Montre, what does x stand for in this problem? What does the variable mean for us in the real world? When we say x, what are we actually talking about? Hopefully you guys have found it already. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and look in your problem and figure out what it stands for. No, we got to read, bud. We really got to read. X stands for total rows of seats, right? Total rows of seats. So if X is total rows of seats, we can actually just put that onto our little XY chart. We know that X is rows of seats. All right. And we'll maybe use yellow for that. All right, Ms. Edemaris, what's the question that they want us to answer here? What's the most important thing? What's the question that we have to answer? Okay, so if rows is X, then what is Y? Perfect. Perfect. So put on Y, put on seats. So do Y seats, and then seats are right here. All right, Alan, do we know right now, do we know X or do we know Y? Which one do we know? Porque mi pregunta dice, tenemos 7, ¿ya? So, este número, ¿es de X o de Y? Y, muy bien. So pone este número aquí, en Y. Muy bien. Okay. But I'm also a little lazy today. I feel a little lazy. Slash competitive with all the other students who are going to be using the calculator. Go to Y equals, top left-hand corner. Say Y igual. Y igual. Y igual. Okay. Y luego pone, put your equation, 2x squared minus 6x. All right, mira aquí. So 2x, okay. Press this one right here. Is it elevado? Elevado. Y pone 2. Y otra vez al lado. Con este aquí. Ok, menos Yes, menos 6x, minus 6x. All right, if everything looks good, now it's time to go over to your table. Second table. Push the blue button. Y tablet. Okay. So I don't know what the word is for it, but I need you to find on this list where y is 416. Do you need to go down or up? Down. Very good, Rocio. So, ¿dónde está ese número? No. Mira aquí. Cuando y igual, ¿qué es x? Oh, muy bien. Muy bien. Yeah,
That's right. No, it's not. Look. What you mean? That's right. Oh.
All right, so 2x squared. Minus 6x? Minus 6x. No. Hates it, man. All right, how do you do? Good, so you got 16? How do we do? Perfect, that's exactly right. Did yours come down to 16? Yeah. Okay. Darn. If you don't follow along, you don't know what's going on. Okay. So, mira aquí, donde y igual este número. 4, 6. ¿No? No, 4, 1, 6. Está aquí en Y. Pero ¿qué es X cuando Y igual este número? 16. Muy bien, la respuesta es X igual 16. Montre, how do we do? Okay. You got the 16? Alright guys, take your answer and you're going to put it right over here in the X column now that you know all you're doing is reading a table from a calculator. That's literally the whole skill. That's all they want you to do. And if you can do that now, then you got your final answer. Alright, so the actual thing, the actual question here on number 7 looks like this. And then D, yeah, you'll pick 16 right here. Okay? If your calculator blew up right in front of you, all you would have to do is take 16 and put it in here for X and solve it out. It should equal 416 seats. And then that's how you know it's the right answer. So you can go forwards or backwards if you like. All right, while we're waiting for other folks to catch up on the notes, I'm going to pause here, and then we'll take our second break. Okay?